Hello?
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, good to see you.
All right, good to see you too, man.
You are looking brilliant.
Yeah?
What do you think about me?
You're wearing about the same thing. You want to go inside?
I'd love to.
All right.
49-year-old DNA grew up in San Diego, California. From a young age, he was outdoorsy, inventive and artistic, but never felt like he fitted in. He worked various jobs, from high-rise window cleaner to construction worker. But he always struggled with authority. In the late 90s, DNA was jailed for taking his mother's car without her permission. He was homeless on release, but he was determined to make it on his own, building secret shelters across town. But this only led to more time in jail. 4 years ago, in an attempt to get him some help, a family member heard about Slab City and suggested he try its alternative lifestyle.
For those periods of homelessness, where were you sleeping?
Oh, I tried a lot of different ways to sleep, and that's another thing, is that's so easy to get picked up when you're homeless, because you're right out there in the street, and you're being judged. If you think about it, even if it's a subconscious judgment, just think about how often you've seen a vagrant walking down the street and thought, wow, what's that guy crawling out of? I have compassion for that guy, because I've been there. I haven't fully got out of there in certain ways, but I don't really even want to anymore. I don't want to be on that other side with all those other people going, look at that guy. I would never want to be there again, because you don't know what that person has been through. You don't know what that person has been through. No, you don't. You don't want to have to go through all that. I never should have had to go through that.
Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, I think I just trod on it.
Don't you worry, I've got sturdy boots, Ben.
Oh.
I like this kind of colour.
Oh, that's good, because I'm a bit of a colourful character, they say. Maybe if you rake up on the right-hand side a little bit more. No. More where it's all dirt.
I got it. I'm very sweaty.
Well,
Right.
you can always take your shirt off.
Yeah.
I'll try and control myself. I think I'd rather be called wacky than crazy somehow.
Eccentric?
I looked that up in the dictionary. It says mad. I'm not quite sure.
I like her feistiness. I like her fieriness. She's living here alone in the middle of the jungle, effectively. So I think you have to become tough. Not hard, though. I'm looking forward to getting to know the many, many different sides of Bet.
I needed another life. I needed something with a bit of adventure. It hasn't been an easy life here, but I always say to the kids, nothing worth winning is ever easy. Oh, it's so nice to be here. And cheering it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional. I don't normally get like this, but it's just, I don't get to share this with many people. And it's just the way it makes me feel. I just feel, I don't know, it's just beautiful.
What do you think this sort of environment has given you?
Given me peace of mind, I'd say. It makes me feel away from all the troubles of the world when I'm here. Somebody told me once that you have to see your life as a movie. And then if you do see your life as a movie, which part do you want to play in that movie? You want to make it a happy movie.
But here's to your fabulous life.
Thank you.
When you live in the middle of nowhere, you don't need to worry about annoying your neighbours. Which is good, because tonight, Bet is rocking out. My hosts have a small fledgling farm where they juggle raising kids and rearing livestock. There's still so much to do. So I've offered to help with one of the big jobs, the duck pond.
So basically my plan is shift as much of this as we can into the hole.
And how long has this clay been here?
About 4 days. So
The hole has been here for much longer.
The hole has been here for
The hole's been
ages.
here for way longer.
Not that it's been a problem, obviously, for you. How
It
long has the
was-
hole been here for, Davina?
The hole has been here for a year. And from the minute we've owned this land, I have to get my moan in here. The minute we've owned this land, it's been like, oh, I really want to dig a massive hole, really want to get a digger out, dig a massive hole. And I kept him at bay for the first few years. I said, for what? What are we going to do with it? We don't know where we want to put it. And then last year, a friend of his was hiring a digger to dig their own pond. So I relented.
He's
said,
not actually
fine.
finished his pond either yet,
Oh, really?
by the way.
Fair
It's
enough.
not full up with water yet either. So.
Well, I mean, fuller than that.
Are there a lot of half-finished tasks here?
No! No! Whatever would give you that idea, Ben?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the piles that give it away.
There are a lot of unfinished tasks here.
Do you have a priority list? Like, where does the duck pond come in your priority list?
It's red. I have a traffic light system and a to-do list on my phone, and they are colour-coded, green, yellow and red. And red is, right, that should have been already done. Red is basically, that should have been done last year.
Do you guys always agree?
So yes and no at the same time? Or?
No, we really don't actually. Me and Todd are really different. But we're a team, you know, we've got the 4 kids to deal with. I do laugh that kind of we make one whole person. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe 1.5.
People always ask you, what do you miss? I don't miss email. Who would? Who would miss getting up in the morning and opening your emails? It's a mad thing to even think about. I've heard a stat that we touch our smartphones 2,500 times a day. Like, do you touch your partner 2,500 times a day? Probably not, you know?
I don't know, Mark. No electricity?
No electricity, so I have no internet, no mobile phone, no running water. I've actually got a bit of a surprise for you today, in that I'm going to ask you to give up your mobile phone, if you have one, for the duration of your stay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that sits with you.
No, I can do that. No tech, that's part of the lifestyle, is it?
That's a big part of what I'm doing, yeah. It's to get away from screens, from electricity. It's the things that disconnect us from reality.
Do you think letter writing brings you closer than us using phone calls and emails and texts?
Definitely. It's more intimate for a start, you know, but you also go into a different headspace. Like when you can knock out an email in 10 seconds, you know, like a quick line or a quick text. When you sit down with a pencil and paper, you start thinking about what you really want to say to the person, and you actually share a lot more emotional stuff. Like, how many people have reread emails 5 times in their bed because how wonderful email is? You know, it's a different energy. Do you remember the last time you wrote a letter by hand?
Do you know what? If I'm really honest, I don't think I've written a letter for like a decade.
Well,
Yeah, I've never written one to my children.
yeah.
And you make me think about that. I might have to give it a go. I feel inspired.
Hey Mark, how you doing?
How are you?
It's a cold one.
Anything interesting?
I have one for you and one for Ben Fogle.
For Ben, all right.
Brilliant.
Look at this. I never get letters.
Do you know who it's from?
That, if I'm not mistaken, it looks quite like my daughter's writing, but we'll
Yeah.
have to see. But thank you so much. Yeah, really nice to meet you.
Paul, thanks very much, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair play to you, man. Yeah. See you in a bit.
Dear Daddy, I hope you're having a nice time in Ireland. And I can't ever read stuff like this because I get all teary. And you're the best daddy ever. I can't wait to see you. Love, Iona. That's so sweet. I love that. Love you, Iona. Powerful, the written word, isn't it?